Hello, Garry families. Welcome to this week's episode of the Garry 5, where we bring our Garry home into your home. This week, we are going to be launching this big concept with you guys because nationally, we start hearing about cell phones and some of the impacts that it's having on our youth. And we really want to be proactive here at Garry about that. So we wanted to bring you into that conversation as parents. We want to partner with you and partner with our students and our whole school to be able to address this issue and start talking about it and making sure that our kiddos are going to have their big, beautiful futures. So we have Dr. Watson with us today, and we're going to talk about this concept of cell phones and what that looks like here at Garry and how we can help our students, even beyond Garry, to be safe and healthy and productive citizens. So Dr. Watson, what can you tell us about this new campaign around cell phones here?
Well, I'm super excited to be launching this with you, Devney, as a fellow parent, because we know, as we're here in the school system here, as Devney's here is quite a bit, that cell phones, social media, are a significant problem for us here at school as an interruption to the day. And I know you know that as parents. I know that you are dealing with this at home about teenagers and cell phone use and all the warnings and be careful of social media. But I think what's going to be new about this, it's the strongest launch we've ever had in our messaging to not only parents, but our messaging to the kids about worrisome trends that are happening around cell phone usage and social media and all of the issues related to that. Now, we're always going to be research-based. And today, we're going to be talking about this research study right here. And Devney's going to give you the link to this research report for you to look at yourself if you'd like, called Constant Companion, that's coming out of Common Sense Media. And this 2023 study had some shocking data for us to consider, like the one that's written on the board here. During school hours, 90% of participants, meaning students, used their phones for a median of 43 minutes. 43 minutes at school. I'm letting you know your teachers in Garry Middle School are not asking kids to be on the phones that much. And so there's another perspective from this report that I want Devney to read to you that's equally shocking. And this is coming from the mouths of babes.
Yeah, a student in this report has a quote. It says, "For my school, we do have a phone policy and we're not technically allowed to have it out during class. But a lot of people do in spite of that. And definitely, I think if you track kids at my school, their phone usage, you would definitely see them checking their phones and then checking Snapchat during class." As a parent, this really got me thinking and really wondering about my own children. You know, I want to do my due diligence and make sure that my kids are engaged at school and they are on track and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so as a parent, I want to be engaging with my students and making sure that we're managing it as a family, because there is no good that's going to come from them being distracted in a school building. So I want to do my part with my own students. And, you know, even one in high school, he's 16. Cell phones have a place in our society, but we need to be making sure that they don't have a huge place in our schools. So I really appreciate that Garry is going to get behind this, do some of this heavy work, but such important work. So thank you for starting this,
Absolutely.
Dr. Watson.
Well, thank you for partnering with us too. Now, what's this going to look like? What does this mean? Because we've always worked with kids on cell phones, and you can't have them in class, and all the policy, procedures, and rules. And parents, I got to tell you, it's probably the number one issue that teachers and educators fight and hate. It is a battle of getting those cell phones and getting them to focus on learning and not on cell phones. And so we're going to continue to, or to start on a more regular basis in advisory, educating our kids on a regular basis about all of the concerns around cell phone usage and safety issues related to that in media, how it relates to bullying and harassment. And we are going to be working with the teachers and regularly in advisory lessons, educating our kids, reading them data like this, giving them information about what is going on and the warnings, and also talking about, we're focused on learning here and not on your cell phones. Now, our goal is to say, we're going to coordinate with you, and then when we give a video on a particular topic, for example, it could be cell phones and sleep time. And we're going to give you a Garry 5 video that's simply about what the data says about kids and sleep. Well, we're going to give you the Garry 5 video first, and then in the evening, and then in the morning there's going to be an advisory video on the same topic, only at a kid level, about how sleep time is impacting kids with cell phone usage and social media and so on. So we're hoping that you continue to watch these videos, and when the child comes home, your child comes home and says, hey, in advisory today, we talked about cell phones and sleeping, and we'd love for you as a partner to pick up the conversation as a parent and say, yeah, I know, I got that video from Devney and Dr. Watson, and let's talk about that as a family, about the impact and about what's going on. So we're going to hit it pretty good, not just this year, every month, for all the years to come here, or at least while I'm here, because it's that important and it's that scary of a topic.
Yeah.
So I know we took longer than our Garry 5 minutes, and it was a little bit longer, and we knew it would be because we're launching a big concept here. So partner with us, and let's continue to focus and help our kids understand their big, beautiful future and these sometimes negative effects that cell phones and social media have on our lives and how they need to be careful.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us, and catch us next week in the next episode of the Garry 5. Bye.
Bye, everybody.